with the next section, which is patron comments. We don't have any recognitions tonight, so Lucy, do we have any public comments? Did not think so, so we will skip on forward to section number 4, which is superintendent reports. I believe we actually
Yep.
health services.
So our first one is Holly Harper, our lead nurse, is here to talk to us about health, student health.
Good evening.
Well, if you want to hit that first button there, turn the light green.
Use one with battery on it.
I
This is
gotcha.
push.
There you go.
There you go, there.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you. All right. Thanks for having me this evening. We have some new nurses compared to last year. One of our nurses at Daniel Boone, she left due to moving out of state. So one of the nurses that we had previously, right around the time of COVID, she took that position, and she's in that office now. And then we had a new nurse right at the beginning of the board meeting last year for Warrior Ridge, and she's still with us. All the rest of us are the same. Daniel Boone.
I think that was.
Oh.
That's right.
Daniel Boone has about the same amount of students they had enrolled last year. Last year they had 330, this year 331. But they have seen quite an increase in the total number of visits this year compared to last year, with almost 1,300 more visits for students this year. What's going on? Well, a newer nurse, and I think a lot of students are just trying to come see the nurse multiple times a day. So we discussed.
My kid goes constantly.
I would Well, just to get that
fault.
There are some kids that have about 75 visits already this year, and we don't have that many days of school. So we've discussed that, that they're seeing 20.4% of their students per day, and none of our other buildings are seeing near that many. And they have the least amount of students enrolled in that school compared to the others. So we have been in discussions about that. Rebecca Boone, they have about 30 more students than they had last year. Their number of visits is just a little bit more compared to last year, about 140. And they see, and they see 9.3% of her students a day. And Warrior Ridge, they have about the same enrollment as last year. A little bit more visits this year, but she does have 2 diabetics compared to last year, so that's a change. And we see those students more often than we see other students. And she sees about 9.1% of her students a day.
Okay.
Black Hawk. Has about the same enrollment as they did last year. She has a few more visits, but she now has 2 diabetics, and last year she did not have any. She sees 8.9% of her students a day. And then the high school, that enrollment's a little bit less than last year. I know we had a big graduating class last year compared to other classes. And she has been seeing about 500 more students visiting the nurse's office than last year also. So she sees about 5.2% of her students, which is up about 1% from last year. Early childhood, we have the least amount of everybody. And my students love to be at school, so they don't come see me very often. So I don't see them, but I'm busy with other things. So I see about 1.8% of my students a day. Care days, we have seen quite a few more visits this year compared to last year. Almost 85 more visits than last year at this time. And last year our average was 11 students seen per day, and this year we're at 20.4. I'm not sure if that's just because we have more people attending, but I don't know how many people are attending every day. I don't find that out from Ms. Stanek. So I'm just thinking that's part of it, is that we have more people utilizing that thing.
Who works care day?
So all of us nurses rotate. There's 7 PD days throughout the year. We work 3 PD days and we pick those. and then we each work 4 care days. So we all have care days to work,
That's
and we
awesome.
have a
Thank you.
rotation, so. And daily meds, they're about the same. Blackhawk has quite a few, and right now, last year we had 6 diabetics, and this year we have 7, with 2 being at Warrior Ridge, 2 at Blackhawk, and 3 at the high school, so. And we are getting a few more people taking meds at Care Day. We just had another one added on after I did this presentation, so parents are utilizing that also. Special health care needs. Those numbers are about the same as they have been previously. And statewide, we have noticed a little bit more ADHD. I think that's being diagnosed a little bit more. And the asthma is being a little bit more diagnosed than it used to be. Providers are more willing to prescribe inhalers for respiratory things than they were previously, so. And then this year, like our responsibilities, those really haven't changed too much. We are utilizing KidSite. They came in for Hopewell Academy last year, and then they already came this year. But we are going to use them for kindergarten. They don't charge us if we use them for pre-K up to kindergarten. After that, it's a fee, so we do that ourselves. So we are going to utilize them for that. And then the big thing is the cardiac emergency response plans is new, which was in the Senate bill that passed. So we've all been working on those for each of our buildings, trying to get people CPR certified, which that's a little bit of a challenge because only so many people can be in a class at a time. And then we had a half-day virtual snow day, which then canceled my afternoon CPR class. So we are working on that, and I'm trying to do those on PD days so that people don't have to come in extra for that, and we don't have to pay for it extra. But we'll see how that goes. We may have to utilize some other days for that. So, and then all of us nurses did our Stop the Bleed training, which was part of that Senate bill also. We just completed that earlier this month. So, do you have any questions for me?
Are we going to be training more than just our nursing team on Stop the Bleed?
So, I discussed this with Dr. Ross, and then also our MSBA, the attorney that spoke at the Lead Nurse Conference, and kind of clarified from what she told us at the conference and what our Dr. Ross's kind of understanding was. And the understanding is that only one person in the building has to be certified, which has to be the nurse. If there's not a nurse, then someone else is delegated, which we have the counselor at Alpha is delegated, and she did that training with us also. And then after that, I think that it might be something that's an option
I would
for,
like to see more people.
Online.
trained. Yeah, if you need a tourniquet, you're not gonna wait for the nurse.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like,
And Robin Harmon, she's our health oc teacher. She is a trainer, and then now apparently we are all able to be trainers since we took the class.
Good.
But she had asked for people to do it before, and she had very little interest in that. So we can put it out there. There might be something that we can do like an online learning so that at least people are familiar with it. We are waiting on a grant for more Stop the Bleed kits to come in, and then those will be with all the AEDs, and then in other various places like in the ag rooms and things like that where it would be more likely to be used. So. Any other questions?
Maybe a quick question back to Daniel Boone with the uptick in visits. Do they
Yes.
feel like they're able to handle that additional workload without any issues?
She's doing pretty well with that, yeah. And I don't know if you've been in all of our buildings, but some of our offices have the like half door to kind of stop everyone from coming in. So she was inquiring about that today also, just to kind of stop them before they come in and get too comfortable and see if they really need to be seen or not. So she's working on that, and then some teaching was done with some of the teachers, and there's a couple of teachers that have a lot more students that come than other teachers, so I think that's in the works also, so.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Barb.
Thank you so much.
Okay, just moving down the list, we got the school finance. Kind of give you our monthly update here. Okay, revenues are a little bit behind compared to last year. Expenses are pretty much the same when we look at percentage of budget. But revenues, there's a couple things going on here. One, last year's double payment in our hotel and special education funds, that throws it off. But we're also seeing, we're not keeping up in pace on Prop C, which is the sales tax. So what's happening there, it is up slightly to the total revenue to the state, which is about 1%. I was looking at that today, statewide. And so the sales tax is up about 1%. But the denominator, how they divide that out to all the districts, is gone up. Like our ADA has gone up because they changed the thresholds. So it actually looks like we have more, our ADA's increased. And so every district has done that. And so that denominator's gone up, which means because the way it works is total money divided by your number of students, multiplied times the rate, you get your payment. And so if everyone's student number has increased, that is a slightly lower payment. So that's kind of why we're seeing a little bit behind on the Prop C payment. One, we're just not getting as much revenue in general as we thought we were going to see. We thought we were going to see more than just a 1%. But so that's trending a little bit behind on there. And also, we're also just getting reimbursement from federal programs is a little bit delayed as well. They're short-staffed. People are not wanting to work there. I think job security is a question. So things that used to take about a week are taking a month to get back, and so there's just payments that we normally would receive in November, we're now getting December, that sort of thing. So it's just not the same speed of turnaround. So some of that's on its way, but Prop C is the one that's kind of got my eye. I'm watching pretty closely. We're not going to hit our target on that number, I don't think, but everything else is looking okay. So just kind of see where we are. So you can kind of see that difference there between where we were, where that is starting to expand a little bit. And that's to be expected because this year's budget is more based on local funding than state funding. So every month that we have state funding is not covering the same percentage of what we need. So we should see these next 3 months are going to be really important for us. December, January, and February when our local tax dollars start coming in. So we'll be monitoring that, and hopefully that's what we anticipated it to be. So just here are the numbers. So revenue through November, we're up locally. County is up a little bit. We're down state funding, and then federal is down a little bit as well. Federal particularly is just delaying payments. Expenses, salaries, we gave raises, so salary and benefits are up, and then purchase services are up slightly, and we are pretty even on supplies. Capital projects, we have 1.5. Now, you probably remember we had about 2 million last month, and now we have 1.5. We wrote our check for our buses. So we had those buses we bid out last year that came in. So our new buses are here. That's great news. And so once you get the buses, you have to pay for them. So they like to get paid. So that's that. And so then on the bond issue, we have, let's see, revenue's about 30 million. The expenses is about 15 million roughly. And so cash in hand, we have about 15 million left. So then our contingency fund, there's 406,000 remaining on the contingency fund for the building. Now that'll change a little bit whenever we have a change order tonight. And that's the quick update.
Any questions for Dr. K on finance? Okay. Update on board filing.
Yes, so board filing opened on Tuesday, and we've had 3 people sign up. So we've had Carolyn, Frankie, and Rich sign up. So thank you guys for signing up, and good luck to you. The last day to file, the full day to file is December 23rd. Then the district is closed until the last day of filing, which is December 30th. And all paperwork has to be turned in by 5 o'clock on the 30th. The district will be open on the 30th from 3:30 to 5. Good. Keep you posted as anybody else signs up.
Thank you to the 3 current board members that are willing to try again. All right.
You're welcome.
For sure. All right, consent agenda.
I move the approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Frank?
I'll second.
Yeah. We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Old business, so we have a couple policy approvals to go through, which I guess as a reminder, we don't have to approve them individually, but if there are questions, we definitely want to ask those individually. So let's open it up for questions or comments on policy approvals. Carolyn, go first.
Why do we all look at Carolyn?
Alright, so, EHBD AP1, that deals with AI. I was wondering if we have an AI coordinator already,
Yes, that's our Director of Technology right now.
okay? And then who all are they supposed to be training for AI? And there it says that they're training on AI, are they training our staff or students?
It's mostly our technology department who's currently training on it. That's pretty much, and our building administrators a little bit.
Okay. It says, ensuring that appropriate training resources and programming are provided to employees and students on the nature of AI, safe and appropriate use of AI in compliance with district policies. That's what I have. Okay, moving right along, we are going to JFCA, AP1. So not the first one, the second one,
Yes.
sorry.
Dress code. Yep.
That one, were there any concerns brought up from our buildings?
Not that, this is the hair one, and this is a state law that you just can't have basically any discipline over school of hair length. Which you I kind of forgot about this personally. I'm like, who would even have these? Well, I remember as a kid playing baseball and our coach saying, if you had long hair, you can't play. And some kids on my team quit because of the long hair. Yeah, so this was interesting.
They've pretty much redone our dress code standards. And I don't know that much has changed. But one thing, does it still allow for hats and hoodies? Because wasn't that something that we,
Yeah, that's something that we allow at the middle school and high school. And is that,
I don't think
It's
it
not in
mentions
this-
them in here, so.
I don't know if it's in this exact policy. Was that in JGR, Brad? So that's in JGR-1 is where we outline that.
okay.
This is just more of a general,
Yes, and this doesn't mention it at all, so it doesn't
Right.
negate that other policy or anything, it's just.
right. That's a good question, though.
Okay, and then, you don't need to open them, but JHDE and JHDF. One requires that we create a behavioral threat assessment team. Do we have an idea who we're,
Yes, we do that now. Dr. Rosh, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we had trainers come up from CES, so
Okay.
every building has a team. And so when we have a threat that's made, like at least 2 members of the team have to fill out an assessment tool.
okay, perfect. And then the other one is the crisis response team.
So, and I don't know if you mentioned it at all in yours, the crisis response team.
Yeah, that one's in JHDF.
So that'd be new.
I may be getting that confused with the cardiac response team.
Yeah, the cardiac response team is different.
This is a crisis response
This
team.
is a suicide awareness and prevention.
Correct, which we have through our
So, same
council.
team,
Okay,
same team. Like there, in the behavioral risk assessment tool, there is a page where they have to designate, does the student need to be evaluated for SI? And so, and if so, then it directs them to another page.
okay, perfect. I just want to make sure we weren't implementing anything new that we need to find
Right.
roles for.
Yeah, good questions, very good.
Sorry.
The next one, and I was up for you guys to open it, it is JHG.
Okay.
So that's the last one, and that one, we're changing wording from, it is about abuse, and it says, it used to say in accordance with the law, shall not be construed as abuse, and now we're changing that to be a reasonable manner. Does that conflict with reporting to the hotline because we can deem something reasonable that they may not deem reasonable.
And I wonder if that's just straight from the statute.
Yeah, I wonder too, because why else would we take out the words in accordance with law?
Yes, so the statute is,
I think they're trying to make spanking a reasonable.
The spanking was already there.
Right. But I think what they're trying to do is define spanking as not being abuse. That's the way I'm reading this.
we'll just pull up the statute.
Because it's a reasonable manner.
But I think that there are different levels. You know, like what you may deem reasonable, I may not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why I don't like
And
that
so
word.
I don't like the ambiguity of that because it's very hard to say, you know, she's gonna see one thing and she's gonna think this, but you think that's perfectly fine. Like that's very fluid versus, yeah, not an area I want gray.
But I don't think there was any law, to my knowledge, about spanking anyway, though. It'd be kind of hard to.
It says House Bill 737.
Yeah, so I'm pulling up the statute here too. It's, so it says at the top there, this is 200.110.
It's 210.
Or two, oh, yeah, sorry, 210.110, thank you,
Yes.
yeah. And I wonder if it has that language in the statute. Typically, that's how that they do, they just copy what's in the statute, but I'm trying to find that exact phrase. Defines abuse.
And there's another reference just past that sentence to definitions of physical injury, sexual abuse, and emotional abuse in the Children's Division of the Department of Social Services. I don't know if that has, if it comes from there, but probably the one at the top.
And I can always we can always table this and get more information if we need, or change it.
Yes, potentially because the neglect portion as well, like, it's talking about, when a child is without supervision traveling to or from school. So are we supposed to, I guess I didn't quite understand once they're off campus grounds, how that would be neglect. If that makes sense. 'Cause they're no
It's a
longer.
little clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that has always been a gray area for schools, and almost, a kid gets in a fight on the way that they're walking home. Who's responsible for that, you know? And that's been a gray area for a long time of when does our supervision end and when does parents begin? It's, you know, at the bus stop, you can make the argument that it's our responsibility. They can also make the responsibilities not our responsibility until the bus gets there. So there's several different arguments on that case, and I don't know that that's been clearly defined. Brad, are you aware of anything to clearly define that?
No,
Yeah.
we have this discussion each and every time.
Right,
Something like this.
right, so it does get to be a bit of a gray area.
Cause it even goes to like playing outdoors, okay, playing outdoors on school grounds, or like,
Yeah.
like, you know what
No, that's not real clear.
Could we table this particular
Sure.
to get some clarification from Bull?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I think that would be good, because it does, references remaining
Right.
at home for a reasonable period of time each.
Yeah, and I can get where they got those definitions.
Right.
That's not a problem.
Great question.
Yeah, very good.
So do we want to say, I move the approval of all of.
Oh, I had a question.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's okay.
I
Well,
was
it
trying
seems
to
like we
find
can
it.
still have questions and comments.
Sure,
or
after
motions to read,
motions,
But
that's fine.
either way.
Go ahead.
I'm finding it.
Okay.
I know know, everyone's staring at me.
Well, just so I know, we can go back to JHG real quick. So, I'm just gonna be looking to, the definitions is our big question of why the definition changes, make sure I got that right.
And make sure, yes, make sure if this language is coming straight from that statute,
Yep.
Yeah.
that's what we have to do.
Yeah, I didn't
We have
see it real
to follow the
quickly in there,
statute,
that's,
But we
yeah.
need to find out for sure.
Yep,
Yeah.
sounds good. I will find that out tomorrow.
Doesn't feel like a one size fits all.
Never mind, it was in the new one.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
this one.
I'm good.
And then, did we hear any concerns from Mayor on buildings about the changes from JGF?
Which one was that one? JGF.
That's just.
Oh, the
discipline
support report,
reporting?
no. No.
Okay.
The nice thing about having a good relationship with our SROs and one in each building, it's easy to report, because sometimes it's a team effort to do things, so appreciate our support from our police.
Are we ready for a motion?
Sure.
I'll make a motion to approve. No.
I was just gonna make a motion, how about, I move we approve all of the policies as presented with the exception of JHG.
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve all policies as presented with the exception of policy JHG, which we will get clarity on for next meeting. All those in favor of those approvals signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, new business. Item number 1 under new business is substitute teacher pay.
Yes, as you know, minimum wage is going up to $15 an hour on January 1, and our day length is from 7:15 to 3:45 with a lunch break in there, but our lunch is not 30 minutes. And so if we do 15 times 8, we're at 120. So since we have a little bit of extra time on that lunch, we're not paying minimum wage for our subs. So if we increase it to 130, we'd be within the minimum wage range there.
I make a motion for base substitute teacher pay to be at $130 per day effective January 1, 2026.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Second.
Thank you, Frankie. We have a motion and a second.
How will this impact the budget?
It won't be drastic. This will be just for the base pay, so it won't change like our certified teacher pay or long-term suspension pay or permanent sub pay. School board pay. It'll be minimal.
$0.
yes. But I would estimate,
Dream on, Rich.
you know, I was gonna run just ballpark, maybe $10,000, something like that, but it won't be drastic.
All right, we have a motion and a second for increasing base substitute teacher pay to $130 per day effective January 1st, 2026. Any further discussion or questions?
Nope.
All right. If not, all those in favor of the motion made signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. The next item of new business is the 2026-27 course guidance.
Right, and so the big change is really at the middle school. So the middle school is going to go from we talked a little bit about this last month, go from 2 ELA classes down to 1. That'll give more time in other classes like math and science, but also then give us a better connection to reading and writing. Because before we had a reading class and a writing class, so we feel like just having it back together. And that really is the traditional way to do it. And so give us back to a 7-period day with an advisory time. So that's kind of the big change there. The high school, not a ton of changes at the high school. You know, nothing to drag, maybe drop it on course. It's not been real popular, and adding at one that might be.
I read them all day, it seemed pretty.
Yeah, nothing too drastic at the high school. Pretty standard there.
I had a question, because I saw that we were moving, it looks like a math lab. What was the thought behind that?
Yeah, I just don't think it was kids were taking it. It wasn't
Okay.
being used.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we know that that's a subject area that's a struggle, and I wanna make sure that kids have every opportunity to improve those scores and
Yep.
the help they need.
Yeah.
And at the high school, they offer some after-school tutoring. I don't
Right.
know if you know about that, Stephanie, but like in the library after school, there's tutoring available, not
Yeah.
every day, but
Right.
a lot of the times, most days.
Yeah.
And that can be for any subject, so.
Right. And then, we're removing the law, was that
That was a class.
an
Right.
optional class?
Yes, yes.
We
yep.
started that. So I taught contemporary issues, and then we had a teacher that was interested in doing, it was called Law and You or something like that, and it was really popular back then, and I've been retired 11 years, so, and now they're seeing a change, especially with our culture today, that.
Bring back contemporary issues.
Yes,
It ebbs and flows.
because kids are less interested in.
The law.
Yeah. Well, they still get some of the law in their American government class anyway, though.
Yeah,
So
sure.
it's not that it's going away totally, it's just not gonna be concentrated as a whole class.
It just reads a little
And basically-
awkwardly, remove the law.
I assumed it was a class,
Yeah,
but.
well,
It is-
basically, we-
It is capitalized.
Okay.
so-
Yeah, I assumed
No law,
it
we're
was.
lawless.
We're not
It reads a little
lawyers. No, I did
scary,
assume it was a
but-
class.
And basically, in each department though, like it's social studies, you have your 3 basic classes
We're still
that
gonna
are
have
required.
government.
Oh, yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Well, you have their 3 requirements that you're not allowed to
Right,
deviate from,
right.
but yet,
Just wanted to
some,
make sure.
we allow some teachers to, we have 5 or 6 social studies teachers, and if they have a peak interest in something, and they can create a class and they can run it through the system, and we think it's a good idea, and that's what's happened through the years, and they're just trying to go back to something that they're more interested in, so.
Okay.
I didn't see anything wrong with that part of it.
Yeah, the process is departments come together, like, we don't have a lot of kids in this class, let's try to make adjustments to get,
Sure.
it's kind of
Makes sense.
meet kids where they are.
I did have a question too. So it looks like there was, I think it was adding a prerequisite for a wood class? Yes, okay, it says, under practical arts, it says IT add semester prereq to wood tech courses.
Yeah, I'd have to look at that one, but most of those, when I look through there, just seem to say, if you had Wood Tech 1 before you have Wood Tech 2, but let me, double check that.
It's hard to read this because it's sideways.
Yeah.
I was gonna print it out, but it was 99 pages.
Yep, it's a
My
lot.
printer would die at
Yeah,
12.
it's a lot.
Let's see here. Hopefully I can just search it.
Need to buy a new printer. My printer has, it's terrible.
Do you know what page it's on? Do you have that page?
No, that was just the one, it was under change summary. I'm now looking under course book to see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Cause I.
Like page 80.
80, good work. Well, that's ag construction, okay.
Index.
Oh, yeah, I didn't use the index.
I hope it's right.
Yeah.
That's something we teach in language arts, look at the index. Look at
Okay,
the
so Wood
table.
Tech, okay, yeah, so basically you've gotta pass the first semester to go on the second. Is oh, that's the note. So basically to be in Wood Tech 2, you gotta be in Wood Tech 1.
Oh, okay.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Did we not have that pre-read before?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of those classes were combined. You know,
Yeah.
So this is just, makes it a little bit more logical.
Oh, it says due to safety, students that do not successfully pass
Exactly.
semester 1.
Semester
There you
one,
go.
yes.
We want you to keep all your fingers and toes.
Yes.
That's-
Okay.
You don't want the nurses to have to run in there and do tourniquets and so forth, right?
Okay.
Other questions on course guides? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I move the approval of the course guides as presented.
I'll second that. Thank you, Rich. A motion and a second to approve the course guides as presented. Is there any further discussion, questions, or comments? All right, all those in favor of the motion made signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed? Motion carries. Next item of new business is our audit that is completed.
Correct. So every year we have to do an audit, and we're very thankful for our auditors to dig through all our books and look for any mistakes we might have made. And our goal is to not have any, but unfortunately this year we did have one error that we found. So there's actually two findings that were found. Well, I'll talk about the carryover finding first. So last year they found a finding on us on, we were not able to verify our free and reduced lunch verification count. So there's on a certain day we pull a verification count and we're supposed to verify all of those kids. But due to the new program at that time, Infinite Campus, they didn't have a way for us to do that. We just couldn't produce the documents. So that was supposed to be reevaluated this year, but last year, so this is just timing when the auditors came. So that report is pulled in October, so the auditors last year came after October and were able to look at that. This year they came in September, so we didn't have the report. So it's just a carryover on that finding. So, but we believe we fixed that, and not a problem. This year though, we did have a finding on our funds transfer on the ASBR. So as you remember, probably in June, we approved some resolutions to transfer funds from Fund 4 to Fund 1. So the board did all the correct actions that we needed to do. And it was just simply a reporting error whenever it just forgot to be done when we submitted the SBR. Because it's really out of the ordinary of how we operate in that world. So typically what will happen is we'll go through and balance all of our accounts, get everything good, and then hit submit to the SBR and do that. This year there's an additional step that was needed to be done that wasn't done, which was to show a transfer from Fund 4 to 1. Because last year we learned that there's a maximum amount of money that you can have in Fund 4. And we've never really had a problem not having too much money. That's not really been a problem for us. So now this was, and so we had to transfer the money over. So ways we're going to fix this in the future, and it's an easy fix, is one, so before the business office would just sign off and submit, and then now we're going to have them, I'm going to sign off before they hit submit. So the business office will get it all put together, we'll all review it with them, and then physically on paper sign it that this is okay to move forward, and then they go from there. But the easiest fix is we just won't budget more than we're going to allowable. Like that's the easiest thing to do. So we just won't even be in a situation to have to do that. So it's not great, but we do appreciate our auditors finding mistakes. You know, that's why we hire them and pay them to do that, and helping us get it corrected. So it has been corrected. Everything's good now, but that was an error that was made. So just so you know.
I'll make a motion to approve the audit as presented.
Second.
Thank you for explaining that.
All right, motion has been made and seconded to approve the audit as presented. Is there any other conversation, questions on the audit? All right, seeing none, we will move to vote. All those in favor of the motion on the floor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, I believe this is the last order of new business, which is a change order for the new Danny Green Elementary.
Right, so we have had a handshake agreement with the city to allow them to have access to the water tower, because when we expand 47, there's a gravel road there that they won't have access to. So the only way to the water tower is to go through our parking lot to get there. And so we just need to make sure that our entranceway was wide enough. They gave us all the specs, so they've given us all the information that they need to access the water tower. And it's going to require a little bit more concrete, so there's a small change order of $4,000 of concrete to have a good entrance to that water tower.
Okay. Thank you for that explanation.
I'll make a motion to approve the change order as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you, Stephanie. We have a motion and a second to approve the change order as presented. Any further questions? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, policy first reads. Looks like we have just one for next month, I guess.
That's right, because currently this policy requires a name. And Dr. Ross will be leaving us after January to, support the United States of America. Appreciate your service, Dr. Ross, as always. So we do need to have the correct names on the policy of the people that are here, so this is the first read of that change.
All right. Thank you for that. So we will vote on that obviously at the next meeting. So moving on to miscellaneous, do we have any celebrations to bring forth to the public?
We had a wonderful high school musical.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
Really good.
It
I was
was
really
fun.
sad.
I kidnapped my daughter and we went, watched it, and then we sang the songs for like the next weekend.
Yeah.
So-
That's
It was awesome.
And I had the privilege of attending the START program graduation for the sixth graders that the SROs put on up there at the middle school. And they did a great job with that. And it's the old DARE program, for those that don't know, it's changed names to START. And they had asked me about a month or so ago if the Voice of the Warriors would come yell out the names at the graduation for them when they got their certificates. And I think we had, what do you think, Mr. Pate, about 200?
Yeah,
Yeah, about 200 students that participated in that program and graduated, so it was really cool. Parents came, and a lot of energy in that building.
There was.
They were very well behaved. It was fun to see them celebrate each other, so it was fun.
Great.
I
Any
was just
other-
gonna say that the hometown Christmas, the parade was really good.
Yeah.
And hometown Christmas was
Did
really
we have
fun.
some
We
participation
did.
from some?
Black
Yeah.
Hawk, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we
good.
did.
I
The
didn't
Black
get
Hawk
to-
School was really
The
cool.
nursing program,
Health Hawk.
Health Hawk, they had a float.
Mhm.
Oh,
It
good.
was really cool.
Yeah.
Black Hawk Middle School had a float.
Great.
People really loved it.
Lots of community though, just a whole
Good
community.
Yeah.
Really, really,
I will
really
say I
cool.
had a couple that were in there that said that they had come down here to Hermit and they were disappointed by Hermit, but they loved Warrenton.
Oh,
They
good.
said we had a Hallmark Christmas, so
That's cool.
they loved our parade.
It was good.
Yeah,
Next year.
yeah.
Well, if your other holiday cheer and things going on, so Tuesday, the choir, I heard the choir today, they came and sang at Rotary, they're singing at several different community groups this week. They did a fantastic job, and I'm excited to see them. The band's on the 22nd, I think, and of course, winter sports, they're all up and running, so it's starting to be a fun time again.
Yeah.
Good deal. Any others? All right. Well, thank you for sharing those. Next item of business is to set the next regular meeting for the Board of Education.
I make a motion to set the next regular Board of Education meeting for January 8th, 2026.
Thank you, Keith. Got a motion and a second to set the next regular Board of Education meeting for January 8th, 2026. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. How about closed session?
I make a motion to set the next closed Board of Education meeting to immediately precede the regular meeting on January 8th, 2026.
Anybody will second?
I'll second it.
Oh, sorry, I blacked out.
Yeah, me too. I was like.
All right, we have a motion and a second to set the next closed Board of Education meeting to immediately precede the regular meeting on January 8th, 2026. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Last one.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the open session,
Two closed sessions.
to closed session.
Yes.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn open session into closed session. All those in favor say aye. Are we doing a roll call vote, Lucy?
No,
You wanna open it?
not.
Okay, Go back.
Do we
So we
have to?
will in there.
Yeah, we'll do that in there.
All right, all those in favor, adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?